I've often mentioned in the past how I feel not as productive as I could be, and my time just seems to slip away with not as much to show for it as I would like. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with me not being cognizant or not remembering things that I need to do, both school related and otherwise. So I decided I would try and have some better time management. So I went and got a Moleskine, which I've had several in the past. I like them a lot. I think they're good products. But anyhow, I went and got one. I decided I would make a list every day of things that I need to do, and when I carry this around basically wherever I go. I've gone to the grocery store with it, to school, running errands and stuff, and write things down in it as I think about them. Because a lot of times I think about stuff throughout the day and I'm not anywhere where I can write it down, so I forget about it. So this kind of solves that problem. If I always have this and something, a pen, something to write with, then I can always write it down and I can remember it. And I made all this stuff. I completed some of them, so I put a line through them. The stuff I didn't complete, I automatically put it on the next page for the next day if it was still relevant. Some of these are not, but so I feel like that's made me a little bit better, because I feel like it's easy to think that I have free time if I don't have a list to reference to, you know what I mean? Like if I don't know I need to do something, or I'm not actively thinking about something that I need to do, then I may forget it and just assume that I don't have anything to do, and that's how I end up on YouTube for 3 hours and wasting time in various other stupid ways. If I can write things down when I think about them, and I can go back to it, and I can accomplish those things and move on to the next thing that needs to get done, and maybe feel a little more productive at the end of the day. So there's that. In addition to that, I've been doing this for probably a week or two now, but I've been jumping here and there in this math on the go folder that I made with integrals. I've done a couple of them, or at least I've tried to, and that was kind of the main point, was to practice doing integrals, which is always relevant, and just having a good mental puzzle. Write my stuff in a logical way such that I can do it for 10 minutes and then go to class, and then if I have another 10 or 15 minutes later in the day, I can start where I left off and I can keep working on it, maybe solve it, maybe I get stuck, that's alright. Then I can Google it and write down the steps, according to the internet how it's done, and I can, learn from it. But it's pretty enjoyable. I mean, it's not in test or homework, so it's no pressure. I can just sit here and think about it and chew on it a while. So I plan on continuing to do that when I have time. So maybe this weekend, but I'll probably spend a large portion of this weekend preparing for the semester that starts Monday, and today's Tuesday. So I get 2 days off, and then it's back to 6 weeks of class, but I only have one class like I mentioned. So that's that. Just been trying to make a bit of a concerted effort to trim more of the fat. It's something I probably should have honed a long time ago, but better late than never in my opinion. I've also done a little reorganizing as far as my reference binders goes, so if anyone's been watching my channel for a while, you know that once I finish a class, I keep my notes. And originally I had all of them in one folder, which is kind of cumbersome. It's hard to flip through, especially when I want to flip to something in the back and I have to go through literally 350 or 400 pages of notes. It's kind of cumbersome and it takes long, and it's just irritating to me just because I have zero patience. So I went through and I put all my calculus progression 1, 2, and 3 in one folder. Then I have another folder for linear algebra, and now I have a new just a half-incher for differential equations. So I can go to one. I'm gonna get around to labeling them, printing out labels, so it looks moderately professional and not trashy, hand scribbled. I can just go to the right folder and flip to what I want to flip to. I may get around to making indexes for some of them that are especially large, just so with dividers or something, but that'll be a real long-term thing. But I like having separate ones so I can just pull one off and it's not nearly as ridiculous. Because I mean, another thing while I'm thinking about it, as you guys know, I post 60-second math book reviews. Y'all seem to like those pretty well, relatively speaking, and I'm always ordering more, and I have another one that's a day or two away from posting as well, as soon as I can finish it. And I've ordered another one that it's been on my Amazon wish list for a long time, and I just stumbled on it again because it's kind of far down the list. Vector Calculus, Linear Algebra, and Differential Forms, A Unified Approach by John and Barbara Hubbard. This book is really expensive compared to the ones I usually buy, which are like $5 to $20. The one I happened to find was $104, but the one on my wish list was $130, and that wasn't even the most recent edition. But somehow I managed to find the most recent edition, which I believe is 5th, correct me if I'm wrong, for way cheaper than it normally is. It's new, so we'll see. Hopefully I don't get bamboozled. I'll have to return it. I don't know if it's a common thing, but I've seen it pop up in math magazines, science magazines, and math peer-reviewed journals like the Journal of SIAM, Society of International Applied Mathematicians. Excuse me. People are writing reviews for this book, various iterations of it. A lot of them are for the first edition, and they're getting submitted to peer-reviewed journals and getting published. And by all accounts, people seem to like love this book and think it's like great and a must-have for anyone's collection of reference books. So I was like, okay. And same thing with Amazon. All of the reviews are like, this book is a must-have. This book is life-changing as much as a math book can be life-changing. So I was like, all right. So I bought it. So I'll be sure to let you guys know. The book I'm going through right now is called The Most Elegant Equation. It's about Euler and, e to the I pi minus 1 equals 0. I don't want to give away too much, but it's good. I imagine this weekend I'll post a 60-second math book review for that. I may also review my textbook that I ordered, because why not? It may serve as good reference, it might not, we'll see. It remains to be seen. I'll jump into that this weekend as well. I still haven't heard back from the math PhD guy that I was supposed to meet with Monday of last week, and he canceled because he had car problems or something. He said he would reschedule, he never did, so for all intents and purposes he's forgotten about me, which sucks, but I'm mostly over it. One of my friends is good friends with a gentleman who has several math graduate degrees, and he's offered several times. He's kind of like peer pressuring me into talking to this friend of his, and I guess it just felt kind of weird and awkward trying to have what will probably become a very long conversation with someone I don't know over the phone. I'd rather have it with him in person at the very least, so I can meet him, maybe have a drink or a beer with him and talk about it casually. But over the phone it's just kind of weird. I don't like talking on the phone as it is, even with my own wife for an extended period of time. So yeah, but I gotta find a resource somewhere that might be with my next professor, since he's white and I can have a conversation with him without struggling about it. But we'll see. That's something I definitely need to figure out in the next week or less. And as usual, I'll be sure to let you guys know. But anywho's it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.